Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows and all things reality TV show stars. So, listen, you guys. Remember that this season of Izingane Zesthembu, we are going to see Mpilo's mom. Sorry, the people outside talking. We are going to be seeing Mpilo's mom having a conversation with Mpilo in Makhumalo about the whole thing of Mpilo changing her surname to Mseleu. And in that conversation, she's going to be telling Umakumalo that the family expects 6 cows from Mseleu. So Mseleu has to pay 6 cows for them to change the surname Mpilo to Mseleu. Now, after that clip was published, a lot of people started saying that Mpilo's mom was greedy, okay, because Mseleu had paid in Tlaulo back in season, it must have been season 1 or 2. Why does she want more, or why does the family Yaga Zungu want more? And it seemed like the 6 cows were a lot, just so that Mpilo can change the surname. Now, you guys, not last night, the night before, this is Friday, Wednesday nights, I'm listening to Ukhozi FM, and they are talking about the same thing. Okay, there's an expert there that is explaining these things of having a child uzalele ekhaya, and amahlawulo ukuthi how is that supposed to go. So this expert on Ukhozi FM says, people always get confused between the process yokuhlawula ingane and the process yokuhlawula ingane ugeza umuzi, all of that, and the process yokuhlenga ingane. These are two different processes. When you are paying inhlawulo, you are basically paying for the damage that you've done, because obviously you've impregnated somebody's daughter without marrying them. That's what you are paying for, and also you are cleansing the home. Okay, Zikaya, remember that you even pay imali intombi, all of that. That has nothing to do with the surname. You are just admitting to your wrongdoings, and you are saying you are sorry for doing wrong, and you are cleansing the home of the person whose daughter you have impregnated. But that does not mean, it does not mean you can take leongane and change his name. You can take leongane ihlale nawe kube yakho, and it also does not mean that you can change the surname. Now, when if you don't marry the mother now and you want to take lo mntwana lo abe wakho and change the surname, that's a different process. That's the process la uthi khona uhlenga umntwana khona. Now he says was now ufanele uphinde ukhokhe, so you have to pay again now for that process. Then they asked him, but how much is that? He said that it's between 3 and 6 cows. It depends on the family, what they want for you to take umntwana. So you can pay between 3 and 6 cows. The family will decide. Okay. I wanted to do this video because I realized that the Zungu family is not being unreasonable in asking for the 6 cows, because it seems like people that know better are saying that that's what happens really. And remember, this was not a discussion about Izingane Zesthembu. They are usually just discussing things, izinto nje amasiko, imikhuba, and all of that yesiZulu, so they're not even I wouldn't even say they wanted to make this sound okay, because they were not discussing Izingane Zesthembu. They were just talking in general. People were calling and asking questions. Like there's this man that called and said, listen, I have kids with this woman. I paid everything that they wanted in terms of inhlawulo, but they won't let me take the kids. They said they want more. And he was like, yes, you do have to. If you want to take the kids, otherwise those kids abago malume, those kids belong to your baby mama's mother, those kids. But if you want to take them and you want to change the surname, if they want the 6 cows, you have to pay the 6 cows, because really that's how it's supposed to be. So I realized that actually Mpilo's mom is not unreasonable. Also, you guys, you must remember, if you do have Showmax, go back and watch that episode where Inhlawulo was paid, and how much Mpilo's grandmother was bullied into accepting what Makhumalo and whoever she was with Mseleu's sister, the son, and some other man. I don't know what who the man was, and how she was bullied into accepting what they were giving them, because they wanted them to pay more that time. You remember Makhumalo even calling her to the side and saying, you have to think about the fact that Mpilo's mom was not a virgin, something that you've never heard of. How can you, as a wife to your husband, tell the mother or the grandmother that her daughter was not a virgin, So basically Ukoko was intimidated into accepting. So when she at the end of that meeting said it's okay, you can change the surname, I think that afterwards the family came back to say, no, but Coco, how could you say that? Because they haven't done this and this and that. At that time, guys, I felt like Ukoko just wanted to be like, let me be done, let me give them what they want, so that these cameras can leave my house, And yes, you guys. Now, of course, Mpilo is saying that, listen, while these people are busy talking about 3, 2, 4, 5 cows that need to be paid, or 6 cows that need to be paid, I can change my surname. Honestly, legally, Mpilo can do that, because she's an adult, and if she wants to change her surname, she can change her surname, okay? Now, I don't know if there is something that her mom will allow her to do, but even if she doesn't allow her to do, she can still do it. She's an adult, she can do it. Legally, she can change her surname if she wants to now, because she's an adult. But I guess if they want to do things right, Gogo Siko, that's what they say has to be done. So the Zungu family is not being unreasonable in asking for the 6 cows. Apparently, that is how things are done. Is Mseleu going to pay the 6 cows? I don't know, okay, because I still don't know, you guys. Because sometimes, like, you'll be feeling like Mseleu can afford 6 cows, obviously. Even if, let's say that the Zongo family is being unreasonable in asking for the 6 cows, your daughter wants to change her surname. What is more important? Your ego in saying, I'm not paying the 6 cows, or your daughter changing the surname. Also, one thing that is very, very wrong that Mseleu says, and he does that with Usne as well, when he talks about the Zungus, utikini, uthi kuMpilo lapha yakini, meaning even him, Mseleu doesn't take Mpilo as someone who belongs to Mseleu, because why is he saying kaZungu ikubo? kaZungu ikomalume kaMpilo. But in one scene, Mseleu says, lapha yakini. Do you understand? With lapha yakini, it's the same thing that he did when he was talking to Usne, and he said to Usne, what did you do to my kids? As if Usne is not his kids. So there's something that's different in a way that he refers to Usne and Mpilo just because their mothers didn't marry to the Mseleu family. It's just that with Mpilo, we haven't seen much of it because Mpilo hasn't really had much conflict with Umusa Mseleu. So we haven't seen those interactions where he says those things or acts like that. But he actually says he refers to the Zungu home as Kubo Kampilo. Akasho komalume kaMpilo. So I've said before that sometimes I feel like Mseleu does not want to change the surname Kampilo to the Mseleu surname, because he feels like if he does that, then Mpilo will be entitled to some of the things as Makhumalo should anything happen to Makhumalo, God forbid. In fact, he has even said that, okay, if your family doesn't want to change your surname, they must forget about you. being entitled to anything ngamakhumalo, because izinto zikamakhumalo ngeke ziye kaZungu, you know. So there's something that makes him, he makes it sound like akubona bakaMseleu Mpilo beno snake. Maybe it's intentional for him not to do what he's supposed to do, so that they can fully belong Mseleu. Because remember, with the Usne as well, she ended up going to Home Affairs, but there was something that is still not done to complete the process, I guess culturally, so that she can fully belong Mseleu. I feel like Ngati, he is doing that intentionally, you know, when it comes to the kids that were born out of wedlock. Okay, yeah. Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about. I'm looking forward to this week's episode. I think this might be the episode where we actually get to see the Mpilo, that scene of Mpilo, Makhumalo, and MaZungu. And again, Makhumalo is going to look like she's getting frustrated with the process that honestly, I don't think that Makhumalo should be involved in that process. The process of uklawulingani, the process of uklengingani, the process of you understand, okay? But even from the beginning, it always felt like Makhumalo involved herself too much, even when she was sent to the Zungu family. And I felt like, hi, Mseleu, didn't he have like uncles, brothers, friends? Even you can even send your friends to go do that for you. Why does your wife have to go and sort that out for it felt weird even back then. But anyway, you guys, the Zungu family is not being greedy with the 6 cows, apparently. Okay, that is how much. It's a normal price, okay, if you want to take the child and change the surname. Kodwa ke vele, guys, at the end, Mpilo has changed her surname, because did you see at the graduation they said Mpilo Mseleu, okay, that is going to be on her certificate, okay. And I thought, very wise girl, because listen, it's such a process to change your certificates and all of that. And also when you have to submit your certificate somewhere, and then you have to submit your certificate and it has a different surname, and then you have to provide evidence that it's still you. It always has to be accompanied with something to show what this is yours. You just change the surname. That's why the surname is different. So I thought that it's a good thing that she was able to change her surname before her graduation. But I guess on the show, we are going to be seeing how she gets to that point where she's like, you know what? I'm changing my surname, okay? And I'm changing my surname. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before you're gonna share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in Thailand.